Welcome back to another video. In this video, we'll talk about what is the IMF. The International Monetary Fund is one of the most influential financial institutions in the world, playing a crucial role in the global economic stability. Established in 1944 during the Bretton Woods Conference, the IMF was created to promote international monetary cooperation, ensure exchange rate stability, facilitate balanced economic growth, and provide financial assistance to countries in crisis. Over the decades, the organization has evolved to address various global economic challenges, including debt crisis, financial instability, and economic development. This video provides an in depth examination of the IMF, its history, structure, functions, and global impact. The IMF was founded in response to the economic instability that characterized the interwar period, including the Great Depression and the collapse of the gold standard. At the Bretton Woods Conference held in July 1944 in New Hampshire, representatives from 44 nations agreed to establish the IMF alongside the World Bank to create a stable international economic system. Initially, the IMF's primary role was to oversee a fixed exchange rate system where currencies were pegged to the US dollar, which in turn was convertible to gold. This system facilitated global trade and investment by providing monetary instability. However, the collapse of the Bretton Woods system in 1971 led to the adoption of floating exchange rates, significantly altering the IMF's role. The IMF operates as a specialized agency of the United Nations with a governance structure that includes the Board of Governors, the Executive Board, the Managing Director, and a professional staff. Board of Governors is the highest decision-making body composed of representatives, usually finance ministers or central bank governors from each member country. The Executive Board consists of 24 directors representing different member countries or group of countries responsible for the IMF's daily operations. Managing Director is the head of the IMF, elected by the Executive Board for a renewable 5-year term, overseeing the organization's strategic direction and operations. And the professional staff, the IMF employs economists, financial analysts, and policy experts who provide research, policy recommendation, and technical assistance. The IMF has 190 member countries, each required to contribute financial resources known as quotas, which determine their voting power and access to financial assistance. The largest contributors, such as the United States, China, and Japan, have greater influence in decision making processes. The IMF performs several key functions to fulfill its missions. It monitors global economic trends and assesses the financial stability of its member countries. Through its annual Article 4 consultations, the IMF evaluates each member state's economic policies and provides recommendations to promote growth and stability. The IMF provides financial aid to countries facing balance of payment problems. This assistance comes in the forms of standby agreements, short-term loans for countries experiencing temporary financial difficulties, or extended fund facility, medium to long-term support for structural economic challenges, poverty reduction and growth trust, concessional loans for low-income countries, and flexible credit line and precautionary and liquidity line. This is for crisis prevention mechanisms for eligible countries. The IMF offers training, policy advice, and technical support to member countries, helping them improve fiscal management, monetary policy, and financial sector oversight. During global financial crisis, the IMF plays a critical role in stabilizing economies. It intervenes by providing emergency funding, coordinating international responses, and advising on policy measures to restore economic confidence. Some major interventions caused by the IMF and their impact. In the Asian financial crisis in 1997 to 1998, the IMF played a pivotal role in stabilizing economies such as Thailand, Indonesia, and South Korea by providing bailout packages with structural reform conditions. In the global financial crisis of 2008 and 2009, in response of the global economic downturn, the IMF increased its lending capacity, provided emergency funds, and coordinated stimulus measures with governments worldwide. And in the COVID-19 pandemic of 2020, the IMF provided over $100 billion in emergency financing to help countries managing the economic fallout from the pandemic, including debt relief initiatives for the poorest nations. Despite its vital role, the IMF has faced criticism on several fronts. IMF imposed conditions often require countries to implement austerity measures, leading to social unrest and economic hardship. Wealthier nations have disproportionate influence over decision making processes, and some argue that IMF policies prioritize financial stability over social development, leading to mixed results in economic recovery efforts. The IMF remains a cornerstone of the global financial system, helping to stabilize economies and prevent financial crises. While it has adapted to changing global dynamics, challenges such as governance reforms and policy effectiveness persist as the world faces new economic uncertainties, including climate change and geopolitical risks. The IMF's role will continue to evolve in shaping international economic stability. Thank you for watching the video. Like and subscribe for more.